reminding you that you don't want to compare your, this should be a little better up here, beginner blogger results with the success of professional bloggers. And it's really common. I did the same thing myself some 18, 19 years ago when I began blogging. And that's because what you're looking at, oh, that's a little better. That's kind of decent. I guess that'll work. What you're looking at, so say if you've been doing this for just, I don't know, 3 months, and maybe you're not putting in a lot of time. So you're looking at 5 hours a week. A lot of new bloggers really don't put in a lot of time. Over 3 months, that would be 20, 60, 60 hours. And then you look at a professional blogger, like an experienced blogger like myself, who's put in 10,000 plus hours, screwed up a fair amount of the time, but thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of mindfully putting in not only time, but work doing successful blogging things. So following a proven strategy for thousands of hours, for 10,000 plus hours. So why would you ever compare 60 hours, in a lot of cases, guys, it's just how it goes, of mindless work with doing many thousands of hours of successful stuff. So as an example, let's say you're just writing about any topic and you're a couple of weeks into your online career, your blogging career. If you look at your 0 readers, or maybe 2 people a day visit your blog, nobody's really doing anything, but you've just been at it for, let's just say, 1 month, and you're hopping all over the place, you're not covering a specific topic to develop your authority, to earn credibility, and then you look at someone like me who's been blogging since 2007, and again, I've screwed up a fair amount of the time, but I've probably put in 6, 8, 10,000 hours of my life. I've invested it to writing and publishing very detailed, thorough content. And since 2014, when I created bloggingparadise.com, I've covered the blogging tips niche inside out with a little bit of travel blogging here and there. So when you think about it, comparing my readership doing 10,000 hours of what works to someone who's done 30 or 40 hours of what doesn't work. And technically you could do 1,000 hours or 10,000 if it doesn't work, but compared to someone who's doing what not works, of course, our readerships are going to look different. But it's something in the beginning, guys, that we all do. And I did it myself. I remember looking at highly successful bloggers out there. I was envious, I was jealous, and I thought they were natural. I just thought they were incredibly talented organically, and that they didn't work, and that they were lucky, that they were blessed. And the only reason I was struggling as a new blogger was because I was unlucky. I wasn't talented. I was destined to fail. Turns out I was just not doing the intelligent stuff, the proven stuff to actually succeed. And when I really began to look at my blogging strategy, I didn't have one. So I was comparing doing failing stuff to someone who had been doing successful stuff for thousands of hours. It makes zero sense. Then when I started to do, and this is an important turning point, guys, because you have to really accept it. When I started to, let's say, publish long form, detailed content consistently, which is one of those successful things to do, which will slowly but surely drive organic traffic to your blog and blogging income to and through your blog. I made a mistake because I compared my 10 long form blog posts that I'd spent a couple, dozens of hours researching and writing I began to compare those for my traffic, my organic traffic and blogging income after doing intelligent blogging work for, let's say, 100 hours to the intelligent work of pros who'd been doing it for 10,000 hours. So I'm like, oh, they're getting so much more organic traffic than me. I'm doing what they're doing, and they're making so much more money than me. But I wasn't thinking, you see? I wasn't thinking about the topic I'm sharing in this live broadcast. I didn't say to myself, wait a second, I've only been doing this for 100 hours, and it's netting organic traffic, a little bit, because I've only been doing it for 100 hours. They've been doing it for 10,000 hours. Oh yeah, it makes sense that they're getting all this organic traffic and making all this money. But you have to really think about the topic on this live broadcast, guys, and let it sear its way into your mind, because it's something that a lot of new bloggers and beginner bloggers complain about, and they allow it to derail their career. And it's a shame. It's really quite tragic, because you have so much potential, but if you're comparing your failed blogging strategy to the successful strategies of professionals who've been doing it for thousands of hours, that's insane. It's just not sane. It's not in a pejorative or condemning way, but it's not sane. You're not thinking. That makes zero sense. And then if you compare, and this is the next level stuff, doing something proven, working a proven strategy for, say, 100 hours or 500 hours, and you're only getting a little organic traffic and a little blogging income, but you're on the right track if you're comparing your little bit of organic traffic and blogging income with the professional who's been doing it for 5,000 hours, 7,000 hours, 10,000 hours. That's the tricky, but gotta look at it honestly, tricky but honest mistake that you need to own in your mind, and just say to yourself, wait a second, I'm only getting this much traffic and this much income, this little smidgen, this sliver, which is good because it shows that you're on the right track and that you're following a proven strategy. And they're getting so much traffic and so much organic traffic and so much blogging income because they've been doing it for 10,000 hours. So then you say, oh, wait a second. If I just consistently stick with it and get through the mental blocks and deal with the discomfort that comes up in all of our minds, and it does, it happens for all of us. This is how the journey goes. If you do that consistently, you really get after it for those 5,000 hours, and those numbers are going to grow, and those 7,000 hours and 10,000 hours, viewing that amount of time as an investment, then heck yeah, your traffic is going to grow. Maybe not to their levels or your income to their levels, because there's no hard and fast rule. Work this much, get this much. It doesn't work that way in business and blogging. We have too many mental blocks. Yet, you'll succeed. You'll be driving organic traffic and blogging income steadily when you stick to the proven strategy for those thousands of hours. And when you don't get shaken out and when you don't panic. It's not easy, it's not comfortable, but you got to stop comparing doing a little bit of successful work and seeing a little bit of success to bloggers who've done a lot of successful work and experience a great amount of success. So I'll leave you with this analogy as we go, and it will be geography specific. Right now I'm in Long Beach, California, right by the beach, 3 blocks from it. In a couple hours, I'm going to head back to Los Angeles. We're going to be spending the month in Manhattan Beach. So the last time we were in LA, last weekend, we were in Mar Vista, I saw 2 murals with Kobe Bryant. And when we were there over a month ago, like a month and a half ago, in View Park, Windsor Hills, we went down to Venice Beach and I saw more murals with Kobe. So since he's passed on, he's transitioned, but he was the LA sports icon here for decades. He became one of the greatest players of all time and one of the biggest winners, largely because he out-practiced and outworked everybody else in the NBA. So when you think about it, imagine picking up a basketball, and I know he out-practiced and outworked all the other players from his high school years on up, because I've heard personal stories and I've seen, maybe not him personally, the players around him, and I've seen his rankings. He was actually a freshman in high school, in Lower Merion when I was a senior in New Jersey. And there was a kid in New Jersey who was in his class named Tim Thomas, who was far and away the best player in that class until their senior year. And Kobe basically outpracticed him and outworked him. And the same thing happened in the NBA. He outpracticed everyone. So imagine if right now you pick up a basketball for the first time, and after this week you practice for like 10 hours, and you're not dunking like Kobe or shooting like Kobe, who's practiced for like 15,000 hours. And again, he's since passed on, but just, when he was around, alive, imagine that you practice for 10 hours and you're comparing your results, being frustrated that you couldn't dunk like him or shoot a fade away from 3 like him, to someone who practiced for 15,000 hours. It's insane. It makes no sense. He put in the work, the practice. So you want to think about that blogging wise and draw that analogy and think, yeah, I got to really practice for a long time doing what brings success. So that's it for today, guys. I'm going to roll. We're off to LA soon. Feel free to stop by bloggingfromparadise.com. I sell an online course there for bloggers, books for bloggers there, bloggingfromparadise.com. And I also offer hundreds of detailed practical blog posts to guide you on your blogging journey. Until next time, you know what to do. Enjoy Paradise all.